I had been married for 31 years, had two beautiful adult girls now. They've gone and left home. And yeah, I decided to leave the marriage for reasons, but I had no trouble sort of getting on with life as far as, getting a job and all that sort of stuff. And I did do a little bit of dating and a little bit of traveling, but, nothing sort of major. And then I started to think, I'm just really stuck. I'm doing the same thing every day. I'm going to work, coming home, drinking wine, smoking cigarettes, and just doing the same thing day in, day out. And I thought, there's just got to be more to life. This is not what I was born to do. And I thought, I've got to do something, but I don't know what, and I don't know how. Like, I've been part of this couple for 30 years. I've never been a single person. I hadn't dated before I met my husband. I was just stuck and I didn't know how to move forward. There was nothing that I could see, that I didn't know what I want. I was going through the motions every day. I had done some personal development, or at least attended personal development events, and I found, talking about manifestations, affirmations, putting things out to the universe, like, to me, that was just BS in a lot of ways. It was very fluffy and, fluff, and I call it fluff and bubbles. That's just my saying for that sort of stuff. And so even though, there may have been some things in there that helped me or could have helped me, I just kept going from one event to the next to the next. This is years ago. And I would just take on the head knowledge, but I wouldn't apply it in my life. And I always used my husband as an excuse that, he wouldn't follow me and I didn't want to do it on my own. And, it just seemed pointless. And while I used to, hear all these great things, I didn't actually put them to practice. And it's something that I probably should have done, but I just didn't do it. It was me being lazy and unaccountable, really. Yeah, so some of the things that I always wanted and never seemed to achieve before was to get a house. I guess you could say we treated money like it was a scarcity, because we were always taught that we had to work hard for every single thing that we had, and nothing ever comes easy to us, and blah, blah, blah. This was my parents. So I grew up with that belief that everything was hard and everything took a lot of effort to achieve, and nothing ever came to you, no matter how good you were. I've realised that I can still dream, that I can have goals. I can do some things that I always thought were unachievable, like travelling the world, saving up for that house deposit, getting things done that I just kept putting aside. I'm getting my car repainted from an investment that I'd previously made since leaving home. I invested in a networking type thing, and from that I can now get my car repainted and serviced and everything just by doing that. So, like, there's little things that I've done and planned out that are starting to come to fruition. And when I left, I planned to get a good job. I had a good job, but it was a contracting job, so it was like feast or famine. Some weeks it was great and other weeks it wasn't. And I thought, no, I need a steady job now that I'm on my own. So I did get that. So it's just still like, no, I want this, so I'm going to have to plan for it. And I know it's achievable now. Putting things down on paper. I never did that. I just used to think, oh yeah, I know I can do that. But because I didn't put it down on paper, I wasn't following a process or a plan. And which sounds utterly stupid for a bookkeeper and, someone that's been in business all her life. I just winged it. Honestly, I've winged it all my life, not with bookkeeping. I did that perfectly, but my life I just winged. Now I know I've got that sort of planning, way of planning, a goal setting. I know I've got a future. It's been a journey, and it's been great, and being able to connect with other women has been great. I think the bonds that you make with people that have gone through similar things, and we're all watching each other come out the other side as well. So, we're all watching each other grow, and it's really great. It's so positive to be around positive people now. It makes a huge difference. My kids have really seen the difference in me, which is good. My youngest daughter is really quite a doomsday kind of girl, and everything's a drama, and she's just at that stage of life. And she said something to me about, well, this happened and this happened. And I said, honey, you should be grateful. And we had a bit more of a talk about it. And then I said, how about we make a pact to send each other how grateful we are each day? 3 things to each other in the morning when we get up, and say how grateful we are. So we started doing that. We've been doing that for about 4 weeks. And in the second week, she said, I'm so grateful that I'm starting to get a better outlook on life. And I thought, oh, that's really good. It's actually getting those positive thoughts going and making her realise that life isn't just all, rubbish. So that's good. As far as my parents go, my parents are very negative people. They've had a lot of tragedy in their life and they relive it every day. Whenever we associate as a family, there's a lot of sad talk. I've been trying to build them up a little bit, and I counter those comments now instead of go down the hole with them. I'm still loving about it, but I don't feed it. So say, yeah, that's really sad, Mum, but aren't you glad you've got this? Or aren't you glad you've got that? And she'll go, oh yeah, I suppose. And, at least it gets her out of it instead of back down that hole. So yeah, that's improved. She actually gave me a hug, and she never gives me hugs, which was surprising. So yeah, it is changing things slowly. I used to think, oh, well, goals are for people that have got money, or goals are for people that have, got this, because I'm never going to have that. But now, because I have now sat down and mapped things out, and I can look at it and say, well, I know I can do that in 5 years, and I know I can, do that next year. I know that I can earn this money. So everything that I'm doing now, I just think, well, do I need to do that? Or is that going to stop me from being able to go next weekend to Melbourne? Or, so I just think totally differently now, because I have those things I want now. And the only person I have to think about is me. I don't have to think I'm going to hurt somebody or take something away from somebody else or anything like that. I just have to think, well, you know what, I'm working towards that for me, and it feels good, and I don't feel selfish. I think in the past, I was also too young to know any different, and we're not taught these things. And the only examples we have are our parents. When I met my husband, he was a divorcee with 3 children, and I was 17 years old. And I was instantly there to be a mother and help him. I sort of sometimes think, was I really in love? I don't know. I was probably too young to know any better. But I stuck it out, and there were lots of things that I now know I won't do. In another relationship, I know that I will be talking about my feelings instead of bottling them down. I know that I will share my boundaries. I know that I'll let him love me. There are lots of things that I know I'll do differently, but hey, I had to go through it to learn. It starts at such a young age, all of this stuff, from our family, at school, everything. If we can boost people's confidence and self-worth from a very young age, they're born with it, it just gets crushed. If we could do that, it would make a huge difference to society. Everything's changed. Your outlook, your future, how you see other people, how you see yourself, everything changes. You become a new person, a different person. I'm going to see more of the world. And however it may happen, I definitely want to be in another relationship. I thought I wouldn't, but I'm happy cruising along on my own, because I have things in place and I'm planning my life and everything like that. But I would love a gorgeous man again, just not right now. I'm having a bit of a ball now. And it's not to say that a man wouldn't add to it, but I'm just kind of happy on my own for a little while. I want to experience a bit of life on my own. To be able to lean back and just be confident in your own power, your own femininity, and not be desperate, not need a man. It's really nice to just be able to feel comfortable whether you make a connection with someone or not. Just be comfortable with yourself. I remember I used to go out thinking, might meet someone tonight, Now I go out thinking, hey, if it happens, it happens. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm not even looking. So I don't really worry about it anymore. And I can see a lot of the other girls, they start getting that way as well. The more they progress, they're just sort of like, I'm just happy being me. A lot of them have said it. It's a real release and almost allowing you to just be you.